For instance, school. Hated school. I didn't like it. So I used to cut school. And she used to
Mm-hmm.
always tell me, everything you did, I did it before. I was under the sun. And blah, 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 it been done already. I understand it. I used to be sitting there like, girl, you don't understand me. Whole while she did.
Like my mom had a bond with all her kids and stuff. You can call my mom, and if I talk to her and tell us and just say something, and she'll say, you okay? Something wrong? What's wrong? And stuff. That's because she had a motherly bond with all her kids.
That way when I look back on life, because I wasn't sitting here like, okay, I'm gonna just tell this person
Right.
this, and if it come back, I know I can't trust him. It ain't happen like that.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Three Hearts, One Beat. I'm Lee,
Not Kim.
And I'm V.
and today's episode, we're going to talk about our unbreakable bond. A bond that started in the womb. I'm just playing.
That's where it started at, though.
But nah, we here to talk about our unbreakable bond. We have a friendship that's like I ain't gonna say like no other, because I'm pretty sure they got a lot of mother daughter relationships that's beautiful friendships. I love our bond. We when we started, like when I was small, when I was younger, we built a bond over a lot of different things.
Right.
Like just mama always being when she wasn't at work or she wasn't busy doing other stuff to help take care of the household, she was always there with us. We watched the same stuff she watched.
Right.
She used to rewind. Remember what was that first Wives Club we used to watch? And we used to ask you, man, just rewind it to that part. We
Watch
used to
it
watch
100 times.
the ending part about
First Wives
10
Club.
times. Every time she watched that, we'll watch the whole movie. And when they go to the end, we'll watch that. We'll just watch that part just to do the dance.
Correction. I ain't watched the whole movie back
Oh, you
then.
never watched the whole movie?
I think I seen bits and pieces when she used to watch it, but I loved the end. And then it got to the part where she knew how much we loved the end, till she'll call. She'll let us know that the end is there, and here we come. We watching the end of the video, and then once we watch the end of the video, like you say, we watching it like 10, 15 times. Just keep rewinding that one part.
Right. Same with the Temptations. When we
I was
had
about to
this.
say the Temptations too. Well, I remember that was when they had VHSs out. Lord, we borrowed a tape from your god brother, and Lord have mercy.
He ain't never.
I don't think he ever got it back.
I don't think he cared. Right. If he knew how much we watched it, however much money he spent on it,
And we got
He
to
got his money's worth.
Right, that
We
part.
got his money's worth.
Right.
But our bond build over those moments. Like, she went into our world a lot. And I remember when Nintendo came out, and she would play the Nintendo game with me. Like, we get our competitive edge from our mama. So she would set scores, whether it was Mario, if anybody remember the little duck shooting game. So she would set scores. So she would set scores, and I'm always trying to.
She was challenging at an early age.
At a young age, and at that point, I think I'm like 6, 7 when the game came out. So those memories you have, and those bonds started. For her, it most likely started in the womb when she was carrying us. But for us, is at a young age, all those moments,
Right.
all those memories of her actually going into our world, because the list go on. Like, I grew up a huge Michael Jackson fan, still is a Michael Jackson fan. But with my mom, no matter how many times I watched Moonwalker, she was watching it with me.
And we all watched that movie repeatedly.
Right. She caught it when it came out. She recorded it for me, and she knew how much I was a Michael Jackson fan. So every time something would come on, whether it was video releases or whatever. So I used to have two cassette tapes, and she would record videos, even the box. When the box was out, she used to call in to get the video. That was smart though. She would call in pay for, I think it was like $1.99 or something. You know, they used to run the prices. I know a lot of people don't know about this, but the people that do know about it, that was our era when we had to pay for music
That was your
videos.
era.
Girl, look, you ain't
I
that
came
far.
at the end.
Well, we had to pay for music videos. Times have changed, but she used to like audit and then put it on the VHS.
Right.
And we'll watch those videos over and over when premieres, whatever it was. So the bond started at a young age.
I think it was more of her just stepping into our world. And it
Mm-hmm.
was also more of you stepping into my world, but we also went into her world. We
Right.
ain't go all the way in her world
Cause
because
she watched, right? She watched some stuff too, and we used to be watching it with her.
right. So it was just mostly you. I think I didn't know it back then. We just was accepting each other for whatever it was.
For
like,
who we was.
Right. Like I used to watch Rugrats like crazy. And we shared the room. She used to sit there and watch it with me. Or she'll just listen to it while she draw. I sit there and watch her draw and listen to my music. Like we just went into each other's world and connected with it. That was us. That was the beginning of our
Right.
connecting bond when we was just getting into the worlds of each other. So
Right.
mine, when we was young, did you recognize at our early age that we would be this close?
I never thought about it like that. Will we be close coming up? I always wanted a bond with my kids and stuff. Cause the reason for me having a bond with my kids and stuff, as I'm raising them and talking to them and stuff, that even once they get grown, they go through something in life, they don't feel like they need to hide it. Or I'm going to talk to mama about this. I'm going to share this with mama and stuff because mama going to understand. I wanted that type of bond because I never want you to go through something or like how you sometimes hear how these young girls might go by somebody's house and spend the night and somebody mess with them and they didn't know if they should tell. So I always felt like I needed to have a close bond with, and mainly with my girls, with my son too, but mainly with my girls because if anybody did anything, and I wanted them to feel comfortable enough to come to me and say, "Mama, this happened and such happened and such did this and stuff." So having a bond with all my kids it was very important to me.
Sis, did you think we would be this tight at this
Um,
age that we is now?
I could say I wanted us to be tight. Like I wanted,
Sometimes I think we too tight. I'm just playing.
I could say I wanted us to be tight for the simple fact that we had our moments where we argued and fight and fought.
All
Um,
siblings do that.
right. So we had our moments, but I always wanted us to be close. You know what I'm saying? So when I look back on our life and the journey, I'm sitting here like God really brought us through so much that we were able to overcome and keep going and growing our relationship. But did I see it? Yes. I had a feeling that we was gonna be close. The only thing is we had like a age gap. So when I was at the point where I was dealing with my teenage stuff,
It wasn't
you
much.
was
It wasn't much. I'm just.
you was still a kid. I think you was
I wasn't that far behind you, son.
girl, 6 years, that's a lot. For
That's
somebody
almost like
somebody
you
that's
was.
16 years old, 17 years old, 16, 17 years old, and you 10 and 11, like we could still talk and everything, but you wasn't understanding, and which I understand because you was a kid, so you didn't understand like at that point where I was at or where I was trying to get at that point in life.
Right.
But I feel like the bond was always there. What about you, sis?
Um, I think back then, I knew we was close, but as a kid, you don't pay attention. I just was moving in life. I'm not gonna lie. I was just moving in life. I thought we was close, but I didn't really honestly recognize it until my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
See, my teenage years, no, I didn't see it. But it's crazy because when I think back, you was always there. For everything I did, you was always there. But when you're a kid and the time as you going through it, like you said, you was going through your teenage stuff.
Right.
I was going through my kid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because people think kids don't have issues. Kids do have issues. Kids do go through stuff.
Right.
Um, I believe when I got to my 20s, I recognized how much you meant to me at that age. And I want to say early 20s, like 21, 22 years old, I knew you was a rider.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I loved our bond as a kid. I
Right.
used to think you couldn't stand me because you used to beat me up all the time. You used to beat me down every chance you. I'm just playing. I used
Right.
to provoke her, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I provoked.
And
I
when you
would. I provoked her. Like it wasn't. It wasn't like she beat me down till I was a bloody mess. It was
Oh,
like to show
no.
you I'm big sis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and that was me provoking her. But that's what little siblings do. But I believe now with Mama, it surprised me. But it's crazy that it surprised me because when I look back, I was always attached.
Yep.
Even when we used
The
to when
crybaby.
we started going back around Mama family, telling people all my business. Just when we started going back around her family, it was like I was attached to her. Like what she said, I wasn't too far behind her. If she was sitting at the table, I was right there behind her. I was on the couch somewhere, but I wasn't too far out her. It was like I was so attached to her. I didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't pay attention to it until the older I got, and I recognized.
Oh, you see it now, though, huh?
I
Cause
do,
now you have your attachment.
man. We have to talk about that situation. I'll just play. I'll just play.
What you want to say, man?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, well, having a bond and watching how y'all interact with each other and stuff and do stuff, that's a beautiful thing. Cause I can say this, I came up with a bunch of siblings, and the majority of all my siblings I really had a good bond with. There might be a few that wasn't as close a bond as others, but we had a bond
Right.
and stuff. If you call one anything, you just have you should always as siblings or as a mother like my mom. My mom had a bond with all her kids and stuff. You can call my mom, and if I talk to her and tell us and just say something, and she'll say, "You okay? Something wrong? What's wrong?" and stuff. That's because she had a motherly bond with all her kids
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But to watch her children, how everybody may not been as close a bond to as others, but I
Right.
always wanted my kids to always have all the three of y'all to be having a close bond that y'all know if I can't talk to mom, I could talk to my sisters, or I could go talk to to my sibling, one of my siblings and stuff,
Right.
because that's where it started
We gotta lean. You gotta lean on each other.
on each other. Yes, you
It's.
do.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of where you say grandma would be like something wrong, I remember one time it was about 3 4 years ago, and it was something like weighing heavy, but I wasn't trying to show it. Something was going on. I can't remember what it was, and I was talking, and she just came out the blue. What's going on with you? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, I might as well tell her. Like I was
That
like,
mama intuition, huh?
yeah, she just knew instantly something was going. I ain't say nothing. I think my mood was just off or something. Maybe I don't know. And I was, that was kind of freakish a little bit because I wasn't giving off nothing. I ain't come to her. I normally I go, Mom, this is what happened, and nah, I ain't do that. I was trying to be my big girl
Right.
and handle it on my own. But sometimes some stuff it'll get to you, son.
Mm-hmm.
It'll get to you.
Mothers know. They know. That's why I often tell y'all, and I tell other people, if somebody come to me and say they could use Ronnie, say, and say, Ronnie did this and Ronnie did that, and I could say, if it depends on what it is, I could tell you if that sound like Ronnie. No, indeed, it ain't Ronnie. Ronnie don't do it. That's no. Cause
Right.
me as a mother, I know each and every one of my kids what they would do, what they won't do, and stuff. I know them. I
And
know my children.
and also to add, like in that building process, and even though we talking about our mother daughter relationship,
Right.
this is you could probably look back on your life and also know others could look back on their life and also see, okay, this was a bond that I was building with this and with that one,
Right.
but also how she had our back.
Always.
So
Always.
that's one thing that I would say it opened my eyes to a lot. And I was like okay, she have your back. Mama is a rider. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Even though
right.
she'll tell you when you wrong or you right, she was also a rider.
She was straightforward. And I think that's what made it easier for us to conversate.
Mm-hmm.
And we were straightforward with her. You know, sometimes mine may came off a little bit too disrespectful, I guess. I don't know. But I never used to like raise my voice. I used to just speak my mind. And sometimes
Well, like where we from in New Orleans, a lot back at home, and that's something we still working on. That's like obstacles we still working on to get better at.
right,
Everyone
right.
overtalk each other because everybody. I look back now, it's like everybody trying to be heard.
Mhm.
So, and that's something we had to go through. Like one of our obstacles basically was not talking over each other because it's not that people screaming at you or hollering at you. Back at home is more of everyone just speak loud.
Very much.
So
And that's the truth.
so
That's the truth.
basically on our journey, what I realized, like I'm just touching on that.
Uh-huh.
Like when we would speak, like I remember mama had said one time about with you and her with grandma had said,
Oh yeah.
now Kim, why you let her speak to you like
I was
that?
about to talk about that too.
Right. See, we in each other's mind.
That's
So
yeah, sure. I'll get her to see. That's how mom
so
used to say, "Why you let that girl? She
and the
talk to
only
you like
reason why
that?"
I never call my mama by her name, I just said it because that's I'm speaking of how my grandmother,
Right.
had said it.
She
And
could call it by her name.
right. So basically my mom probably tell you about it, but it's not that we was
Being disrespectful.
right in New
It's just that
Orleans.
she was.
Everybody just speak loud over each other for. I don't
Right.
know what that's about, but that's something that
And I didn't.
happened.
I didn't think. I never. I didn't think as that she was being disrespectful. It's more like she was getting her point across and stuff. But she. Now I'm gonna tell you, you can say words or say something to
Right.
somebody and it be disrespectful without cussing or using that language.
Mm-hmm.
And but I used to always say I wanted to hear my children out when they say something, hear them out, because if you shush them, they gonna think they have to be quiet on things they should talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, mama used to always say, "I can't why let that girl talk to you like that?" And she used to be, she might have been a little loud, but she never was like disrespectful with her words.
Mm-hmm.
But she was just telling me getting the part.
Yeah,
You know, her
her
point
point of
across,
view.
her point across and stuff. And I understood that. And but mama was like, no,
So
Go ahead. No, I was about to say, but grandma came up in a different generation
yeah.
where
Right.
that is disrespectful. Kids
Right.
don't speak to adults unless spoken to. And I think that's another subject, but it's
Right.
like, I think that's crazy.
I love my grandma, but if she'd have seen the kids today,
Oh, she wouldn't have.
she'd
Baby.
have still been here. She'd have probably been like, "Oh, these
Some of
children."
these new great, if she would have met some of these new great grandkids that she have now,
But what I was
Yeah,
about
them
to
great,
say,
great ones with her. She'd have been sitting out saying, what? She was probably wondering what's going on.
right?
She probably would have wondered if God was poking her. Right? Some of the stuff come out their
They
mouth,
mouth,
but I
right.
like. I just love to
I
hear
love
them
it.
talk.
I love
love
it.
to hear
Right,
them babies
it's like
talk.
they are so smart and so they intelligent at a
Intelligent.
young
ain't they
age.
funny?
Right.
Ain't they
Oh,
funny?
you
'Cause
let
you be
them
sitting
sit
there-
there. I mean, because you can't believe they said what they said
Say
at
it.
Right.
their age. You'll be like, I would have never thought of that. Like,
Like
that.
I told
Right.
y'all, what you call? I said, don't shush her. Let her speak.
Mm-hmm.
Because back in a long time ago, people used to, children shouldn't be in the room with adults, or children shouldn't say this, or children shouldn't say that. Let them children talk.
Right.
Right. And may my auntie rest in peace. I miss so many of them because I lost a lot of people when I was very young, and if I would have had them like in my 20s and stuff, but one of my mama's sisters, Dee Dee, I told Lee this story so many times. Me and her done had like several encounters, and Lee used to always say, "Cuz you was the first millennial and they didn't know how to handle you." So basically, it was one point. I can't even remember what I did. I know I was a kid. I was real young, and she was in the kitchen. I never forget the scene. She was in the kitchen with a few of her friends, and she was reading into me. She was reading into me.
Felt played. That's
Yeah,
what.
I felt that what we talked about on a couple of episodes ago. I felt played as a kid. So I'm standing there and I'm listening to her the whole time, and she going off. I never forget. Her friends, one of them or two of them was like smiling, like little smirk and everything. So I listened to my auntie and everything, and I look back on it. I probably should have did that. How rude of me, you know what I'm saying? But after she finished, I just looked her dead in the eye, and I was like, "So what's your point with the smud?" And she looked at her friends, and she just bust out laughing like, "This little girl just said, what's your point?" After I said all
She probably said a whole lot, but you was just
she.
waiting for your opportunity.
So it's like even those type of bonds, like by me being an introvert, I didn't understand it back then. By me being an introvert, like I never was the person. Still to this day, like I hit you up here and there, but I'm not the
Right.
type of person that's go constantly call everybody and be on the phone for hours. But
No,
I
not me
have
either.
those memories and stuff, and I will share with my sister at times, and I talk about that. But speaking on obstacles, y'all, so on how did you and Mama overcome y'all obstacles? Cause y'all used to butt head a lot growing up, and I used to be in the middle of both sides a lot. So, how did y'all work on that overcoming y'all obstacles on y'all journey?
So I think for me, it was a lot of healing journey and growth.
Mhm.
Cause it was like you going into the world and you seeing this and you seeing that, and then you come home and your mama telling you do this and do that and do this. So a lot of that used to rub me. I think with me it was being told what to do that I didn't like.
Mhm.
I was a kid. I didn't know. This is my first time in life. This was my first time being in this world.
Right.
So it took for me honestly to get through a lot of anger and a lot of different things. And I think some of it, I don't know if I ever told you that. Sorry. I think I took some of my anger out on you. But some anger was just things that we was going through and I didn't understand it
Mhm.
at the time. But now that the older you get, you understand your parents move in the best way they know how.
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was a difficult kid. I wasn't easy peasy. I was difficult. So for her to have to go from you, not saying you an angel because
Oh,
you
I'm
did your
not.
stuff. You did
Right.
your stuff, but I used to do a lot of stuff because I was like, I don't feel like doing that. Like, for instance, school. I hated school. I didn't like it. So I used to cut school. And she used to
Mhm.
always tell me, everything you did, I did it before. I was under the sun and blah, 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 it's been done already. I understand it. I used to be sitting at her like, girl, you don't understand me. Whole while she did. But
Mhm.
you think your parents don't understand. They understand you. Like,
Right.
you just got to listen to them. So I think for me, it took a lot of healing and growth to understand she did all the things that she did
The best she know how.
the best way she knew how.
Mhm.
And I had to stop blaming her for a lot of things and grow through it. You just got to grow through it and you have to want to heal
Mhm.
to get better. And
Right.
I think that's what changed it for me.
Oh Lord, I don't know what changed for me because I think when you're raising your children, they like you just say they don't understand what you're trying to do or what you're trying to say or what
Hmm.
you have to do, so everybody can always have what they need or do what they need and stuff. And which you wasn't my I can't say you was my how would I say it? My worst child or my bad child and stuff because your brother I
Most
think
difficult.
your brother was I think he was one of the ones that was a little you know he's
But he
not
a Gen Z,
bad
y'all.
bad not bad kids
He was another
but
generation.
just another way, in other words, like how you say with how you would talk or how you would say things to me and stuff. He may not have said that and he'll listen, but he one of them types that if you talk to him, things go in one ear and go out the other one. Shalita was the type if you say something, she'll talk to you or try to get her point across and you're like, Sometimes you be saying, did she just say that? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But it's like you say, it's a healing journey.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff we have to heal from. Me coming up as a child went through things and stuff. So I used to always say I don't want my children to go through these different things and stuff. And I guess y'all coming up and me the way I was me and your daddy was doing it and stuff. Y'all may not have understood it, but it's still it wasn't the way, you know what I'm saying? Cause
Right.
say you might have went by been around a friend and you saw something they was doing or how they was acting or what they had and you didn't have it, but you didn't understand what was going on in your home.
And see, I don't think I was ever that one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if my friends had something that I didn't
Right.
have, I understood the financial situation as
Right.
a kid. Like,
As
I
a,
understood it. And I just try to that was never me. But I was the kid, like, when friends will go out and be somewhere, and they'll come back and be safe. And you'll be like, no, you can't go there. Now I get it, because you was
mm-hmm.
protected. But
Right.
it was, I used to be like, man, shoot, they get to go and I can't even, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
when it was the one time, this is when I knew, yeah, I wasn't spending the night by many people's house. When I first met my friend in high school,
Mm-hmm.
she had a birthday party, because me and her birthday was literally like a week apart. She had a sleepover, and she wanted me to come to the sleepover for her birthday.
Yeah.
And I came home and told my, at this point, I'm like 15. She was like, you ain't going unless I meet the parents. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what?
I went over there and met them, and I had to explain to them. And when I went over there, I introduced myself. We sit down, we talk, and I explain, I express myself because I want to know and see where my child's going to be, and that I could kind of trust the person. If they have a male in the house, I could trust that person. I just point blank put it all out there on the table
Yeah,
for that
no.
person. So even if, and he never seemed to be that type of
Nah, he
person.
was
But
cool.
even if that thought hit the back of his mind, he probably would say, "Oh no, that child mama came over here and sit down and had a whole conversation with me." So
But
no,
shoot,
you
they
know what I'm
still be
saying?
clicking out. You
That
still can't
yeah,
get show.
I'll be trying. I was at that paramount
I get you.
protecting my
But I
girls
get it.
because yeah,
I
Right.
get it
But
now. Yeah, at the age 15, I ain't get
you
it.
ain't get it. You
yeah,
just saw your
we
friends doing things and you
Right.
wasn't doing it, not doing the whole while mama was trying to protect your innocence.
and the
Yeah.
whole thing is like a lot of times with parents and kids, because I'm more than sure it's that happen today. The teens, especially by the time you become a teenager, it's like, and the parents are always say, I'm not a parent yet, so I only can speak from being
A child.
when I was, a
Yeah.
teenager
Yeah.
to a parent. But my eyes see, by me not having kids, it also helped me see the situation of others, whether it's family members, whether it's online or whatever. People I work with or whatever, and they'll tell their stories, you know what I'm saying, about the kids. But what I've realized is a lot of times neither side listen to the other side.
True.
So the
True.
kids are really not listening to the parents because in their mind is here. You not understanding me.
One track.
This is what's going on. And the
Right.
parents is not really listening to the kids because they're the parents. And this is what I'm saying. This
Right.
is how it go. I didn't been through it. I did it. But what we all have to realize, by me being a millennial, I went through it in the 90s, the early 2000s. Times have changed.
Ooh,
Drastically.
yes,
Things
Lord.
didn't change.
Drastically.
Just like with my mama. So when my mama would tell me, because I didn't went through it, I didn't did it. Her telling that to a millennial is like, okay, but times has changed,
True. True.
and vice versa. Like, yes, we may have encountered certain things, but the experience is different. Like, me and you were speaking, how I had seen a post years ago on social media, and somebody was like, what we have to realize is, yes, what these kids go through is different from what we went through. Because
Facts.
imagine if social media was out when we were kids,
Hmm.
and if it was out when we were kids, some of the things we did and it would have went viral, we wouldn't have never overcome it.
Sure wouldn't.
We wouldn't have never overcame it because it's put out there on social media. See, yes, we all went through what we went through, but they have to deal with it on another level.
Right. That's
Because
true.
now the world get to see.
That's true.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's
So,
true.
yes, you may have went through something that your kid experienced it, but the experience is different because there's a different timeline, different time frame, zone, year, however you want to put it.
Right. And I would say my obstacles with you, sis, it was more of like, I think it was that small part. It was like I held on to that. Show you like you can't hold grudges, you can't hold certain things. I held on to a small part for too long when you snitched on me that time. But you
Oh.
were supposed to. No, you were supposed to. You were supposed to because at that time I'm 15, 16. I don't know what. I'm just, look, I'm cutting school. It is what it is. I don't care. I ain't worrying about it. I used to walk in the streets like if I was supposed to be out there and not sitting in somebody's classroom. Anything could have happened. Truancy could have picked me up and mama think I'm in school and whole while I'm sitting
Right.
in a jail
Or
cell.
somebody else could have picked you up.
Exactly. So you were supposed, so I
You
held
wouldn't have
on
been
to,
sitting in a jail cell because with truancy,
They held them in detention center.
and like a detention center, like a class, a big classroom where the parents had to go get them.
oh, okay.
That was that time.
See.
we had-
Unless they didn't come there before a
but
certain time on
Then
Friday.
you probably would got.
Then you like in a little cell or something, but that's another story. But
Right. So, right. That's crazy. But it was, I think it was like, I trusted you, but because of that small situation in my teenage years when you did it, it kind of turned my trust off with what I said or what I did around you or what I shared with you because it was like, it was hard. Because I was like, oh, maybe she'll tell mama this or maybe she'll tell mama. Oh, while I wound up telling mama a whole lot of stuff. Probably told some stuff she really didn't want to hear. But,
right,
but I had to grow past that.
yeah,
And I think that's when I say I recognized it in my 20s, how close we was, how tight we was. You know what I'm saying? Because I held on to that small detail. So that obstacle, like I said, same with mama, same with you. I had to heal from it. I had to
Right.
grow from it because it was like, and I think in my early 20s, I may have joked about it because it's just funny. You know what I'm saying? But you did what you were supposed to do as an older sibling out of, you know,
right.
the what you call out of what's
But
what's
I
the-
think she wouldn't have said nothing. But it was
My
the fact
my plans wasn't to say
nothing. But the
But
fact
I was
that
gonna
when
take
you
you with me, though.
looked up and saw her and start running around corners and stuff. I think that's it. Oh, so she won't play me like that. So
She felt once again when she felt played.
She got. She
That's
felt
what it probably was.
She
Because
felt played
all I
because you
would've-
should have just came. Once you saw her, you should have just came to her and
In my defense, I don't think I knew you seen me when I took off. How I knew you seen me at that point is when old boy came back and was like talking. He was like, "Man, me and V not cool. Me and Ronnie not cool."
We never was cool though.
I know
ain't
you
him.
wasn't. He was a teenager, so he was like, "We ain't cool no more," and blah blah blah. So at that point, what then ran through my head, I'm like, I'm already in trouble. I'ma just, you know,
You stood out extra late.
I stood
Made it
out.
worse.
I made it worse for myself. I was that kid. I just
Right.
was always the type of person. To this day, though, like I'm gonna take my lick. I'm gonna take my lick, whatever it is, whatever the situation may have been. I'm gonna take my lick and deal with what my consequences is, and that was always me. Even to this day, like if I do something and there's a kickback and there's a consequence, I gotta deal with it. I mean, what mama used to always say: you make that bed and I lie in it. And I've been told that since I was a kid. So as a kid, I made a bed, I lied in it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But
What I have realized, like, also, the journey is forever.
yep,
A lot of
yep,
people could change it, and if like you could go through something with someone, and that person could change within a year,
true.
months, a few years. So, what you may think of that person from when they was 8 or 15 or 20 or 30, wherever they at, that person could be totally different. So
Right.
I feel like also on a journey of building bonds, you have to also realize that people do change and shift because they encounter different things, different places, different people, different countries, whatever it may be. So
True.
they grow to be different. And I feel like our bond continuously have grown stronger because of us traveling together and seeing things, and us,
Right.
going out to eat, us spending quality time, the mother-daughter dates to go out and eat, whatever it may be. So I feel like our bond continue to grow on that journey. What y'all think about that? Like, how y'all see how our bond over the years continue to grow, and what y'all think also led to it growing like that?
I believe it got stronger. I believe it got stronger as time went on. Like, I want to say, I think it was around the time I think I started noticing our bond growing closer. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go all the way back, Joe, just for a split second. Football. Mama used to watch a lot of Saints football, and then you used to watch a lot of Saints
That was us
football.
going into her world.
Right, and in the beginning, I'm like, man, that's boring. But then I started sitting there watching it, and then I understood, started seeing the competitiveness of it, and then she started explaining stuff. Like, she had me to the point where you would see a hole before they even called it, or when they throw the flag, you would be like, oh. And that was the point of, even when the Saints did stuff, she would be like, that's on us. So that was also,
Her holding
even
up,
though
right.
that's your team,
Right.
they did it. You know what I'm saying? That's coming back or something like that. So it started with, I think, and then that bond with football brought us together heavy.
Every
Even though we did
Sunday,
all the
right.
other stuff, every Sunday we look forward to us three sitting down. Our pops didn't watch football, and our little brother didn't watch football.
Right.
But we sat down with our bond. That was our first. That was the beginning of our bond. Even to this day, we'll sit down and watch the Saints on Sundays. Even though this year,
The last couple of years, but that's another
right?
story.
Another story, baby. Them.
That's the last couple of years. It's been bad, but it's the sitting down with each other, watching the game together. But then we used to go to bro football games when he played, and we sat there and we watched it together. And we out there for hours sitting at his practice, sitting at his games, and then it just, and then we, like you say, mother daughter dates, going shopping together, going out to eat
Like
together
y'all just
at
pick
a
me up
spur of
from
the
work.
moment, right? At the spur of the moment, me and Via be like,
We go
we'll,
treat
we'll
mama
go
to work.
treat mama. She don't even know.
We
We'll
pick her
just,
up from work so
right.
many times.
Via be like, grab her a shirt and some shoes, and we going to take her out to eat.
Well, cause one time, I think the very first time
We
did
didn't do it.
we didn't do it, and
She-
she clicked out on us, y'all. If y'all gonna take me out to eat, at least bring me some change clothes.
But we used to. And I think that helped build our bond. Like, and I feel like even though our bond is at an unbreakable point right now, to the point where it's not like she said, somebody could come to me and say, your mama did this and your mama did that. Like, I didn't have that happen.
Right, same.
And I'm like, you ain't talking about my mama. Like, I know my mama ain't do that because I know my mama. You know what I'm saying?
And I also hold my mama accountable. Like when
Right,
she do
when
something and it's wrong, I'd be like, yeah,
Exactly,
ma,
because
that
we
was
have
wrong.
we have done that a couple
Right,
of
we
times.
did that a couple of times.
So it's like, don't nobody want to be held. You want to be held accountable, but at the point, don't nobody want their children to come to them and be like, "Mom, you was this and this was this and that. This is why." You know what I'm saying? But I think us, one, holding each other accountable, two, always listening to each other. We don't agree on every single thing because we're human. No human being walking this earth is gonna agree on everything that the other person that they love. Like me and V to this day, we still be having disagreements. I be like, nah, I ain't feeling that. So you go through that. So I feel like if you could make it through the tough seasons, your love for one another should overpower everything that come your way.
Right. That was good, girl. Like, what did you see that allow our journey to grow? Like, what did you see was the turning point of, okay, I could go to my girls and I could talk to them about anything?
Well, it's a lot that you just sit down and you. I think a lot of it is just knowing trust. the word trust, where you can go to them, say what you want to say to them, because in other words, a good space, have a good bond. You talk and you trust them. You can say this and you can say that and stuff, and everything is okay. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't got to worry about them judging you
Right.
and stuff, because people have a tendency of somebody coming to them and sharing something because they feel like they're in a good bond with that person, and then before you know it, it's
Right. And also like knowing that I could tell y'all stuff and don't have to hear it again.
I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's how I moved in my relationships on the outside our house. Like,
Right.
I would tell you something so small, and I don't tell everybody the same thing. If I hear it again, I
I
know
know
where it
exactly
came
where it
from.
came from.
came
And
from.
if it came from that person, I know I can't tell
Tell
you
you nothing
nothing.
else. Right.
So I have conversation with you, but it ain't gonna be on no level of I'm gonna tell you this and tell you that. No, because I don't talk to everybody.
Right.
I have, like I didn't say it once before. Outside of my mama and my sister, I have one friend, one best friend, and we've been kicking it since about it's been about 10, 11 years now. We've been cool, and never once do I hear anything that me and her ever talked about come back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether if it's our dreams, things that we want to do, things that we want to grow in, things, just anything or something that may be bothering us. We, I've never heard it again, and I really don't repeat everything she say.
Right. It's always good to have people like that around because what you say, I have told people the truth. Like I may tell you one thing, it's the truth, but it's a part of the truth. So if I, like you say, like if you hear it again, and it's not like you're out here just trying to, set people up. It's just intentionally happened that way when I look back on life. Because I wasn't sitting here like, okay, I'm going to just tell this person
Right.
this. And if it come back, I know I can't trust them. It ain't happen like that. Like, if I hold a conversation with you, it's like I'm getting your vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And what I realized, because even on a job that we worked on and we met so many different people,
Right.
it used to come, how it come back to me, like some people would be like, oh, V don't talk. Then some people would be like, well, V talk. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, vice versa. Even the guy I used to work with, I don't want to say his name, but you know who I'm talking about. But people tell me that about him too, like, he talked to you? Because he seemed like he quiet all the time. And looking back, he was another introvert. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you don't trust
So,
everybody.
but with me, like, if I get a good vibe off of you, I may say more. But, like, when I'm around family, they may get more talk because I've been around them, like, my whole life, but they don't get everything. Like,
Right.
it's certain things, even with other people, like, it's certain things people don't get off of you because, and I think that play a part of trust issues.
That is
Respectfully.
trust. That's what that is. That's
Right.
trust issues. Because I'm not gonna sit here and say something to you and stuff, knowing you gonna go back and tell it, and I'm gonna have to hear it again from somebody else or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And respectfully, like the part of family, like I didn't have people say, "Oh, you don't talk about nothing. You don't be talking about it. You don't talk a lot. You always holding secrets and stuff." Oh wow, I ain't holding secrets.
Right.
It's like I don't have nothing to say that y'all want to talk about
Right.
at the end of the day. And I remember that friend I talked, I
Mm-hmm.
remember her being with me down there, and I had to tell her, I tell you more stuff than I tell to my own family. Because it's no offense, I love my family, but I trust my friend more with information because I would never hear it again. I
Right.
would never be surprised at anything as far as like, dang son. But with family, you would say something and everybody know what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you learn who to say stuff to, who to
Right.
not
And
say
that's the
stuff
truth.
to.
That's the
You
truth.
learn what to say to certain people. You learn what not to say to certain people, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just a part of
That's how
life
I
and
live
growth.
life. That's how I did all my life. I know what to say to who to say it to and stuff. Now I also was like this too. If I wanted it, let's just see if it's gonna come back. I know who to tell it to because I know it's coming back. Because you could tell, who
Right.
with all of that foolishness. That was the old me, y'all. I used to just not look for drama, but I never was a drama person. But if I said something, I knew it came back to me. I know who told it.
Right.
So y'all, that is our episode of our unbreakable bond. If you guys have any questions, want to leave any comments, just drop it. Make sure you hit that like, that share, and that subscribe, and hit that bell so you could keep up with all our most recent content that we drop. We want to thank y'all for watching our video. We want to thank y'all for staying this long. We want to thank y'all for the support. We have at this point we have 52 subscribers, and I want to thank each and every last one of y'all who
Amen.
have subscribed to our channel and is giving us a chance. We want to say we love y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed, wonderful day. We see y'all on the next episode of Three Hearts, One Beat. Peace.